You can be seated. Amen. I want to say God bless you all. God is so good. God is so good. Psalms 91. I'm going to read it out of the King James Version, but I'm going to update it as we go. How many brought their Bibles? Let me see. Raise up your Bible. Okay, good. Then I'm in the right place. Don't depend on your cell phone, okay? Bring a Bible. Victory in the battle. Doesn't matter what happens in this world, we have the victory because of Jesus. Psalms 91, I'm going to read. And it reads like this, speaking to us personal. It says, he that dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. See, he that dwells, that word dwells means he that remains in the presence of the Lord. It's not, this isn't speaking about just on Sunday morning, but it's speaking about a lifestyle, you know. At this point now on, we're Christians. You're here because you made a decision. Jesus is in your heart. Jesus is in your life. And this is what this is speaking about. Dwelling in the secret place of the Most High. He's saying, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress. Amen. My God, in him I will trust. Last night I was telling Martha that I watched the evening news because I like to catch the news at 6:30 because it's a world news. On Saturdays it's on at 5:30. But anyway, 95% of the broadcast was on the coronavirus. To the point where I said, you know what, forget this, I turned it off. And so now I know we have to be mindful, I know all that. But my God, they are, the world is saturated in a spirit of fear. And that's what it is. The Christian, the Bible says that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So here the psalmist is writing, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in him I will trust. Amen. You got to make a decision. Yesterday or a couple of days ago, somebody told me, you know what, Pastor Victor, because of your age, you shouldn't be going anywhere. You need to be careful. Stay at home. Don't get together with anybody. You need to retire. So this is no time to retire. This is the time to refire. Can I get an amen, somebody? I'm not going to let the spirit of fear control me. Verse 3 says, and incidentally, this is Moses who wrote Psalms 91, a man of battle, a man of war. He says in verse 3, surely he will deliver you from the snare of the fowler or the destroyer and the noisome pestilence. You know what a pestilence is? It's a disease, it is a plague. But here, Moses says, and Moses was inspired by God to write it, that God will deliver you. Amen. He will cover you with his feathers. Here he's like an illustration, like God would have his feathers to cover you, and under his wings, like a mama chicken who keeps, or a mother bird keeps her babies under her wings to warm them and to protect them. And under his wings shall you trust. His truth shall be your shield and your buckler. Amen. You know what a buckler is a smaller shield that the soldiers would use for hand-to-hand combat. The other shield was a huge one that would protect them from the arrows. But God will be our shield and our buckler. Amen. Verse 5 says, you shall not be afraid. Can I get an amen, somebody? The spirit of fear is not for the people of God. He says, you shall not be afraid for the terror by night. See, a lot of people are, I went to a store and I said, where's your TP? You know what I'm talking about. And they said, we don't have any. Everybody's buying out the stores. No, I don't have any problem with preparing for future stuff, but man, even cost Costco was empty. Even Winco was empty. People are in a panic state, in a state of panic. God hasn't called us to be in a state of panic. He says in verse 5, you shall not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flies by day. Verse 6, nor for the pestilence, here we go again, the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor for the destruction that wastes at noonday. Verse 7, speaking about the enemy, speaking at the enemy, he said, 1,000 shall fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. Hallelujah. You know what? We either trust the word or we don't. That's the way it is. You know, we're in a time right now. I believe God is challenging us. We're in a time to put our trust in Him. So He says, with your own eyes you shall behold and see the reward of the wicked. You know, right now there are people that they're taking advantage of this thing. They're price gouging. They're charging people. Somebody was telling me the other day, for a little thing of hand sanitizer, $40. And they usually sell for a couple of bucks. $40? And because people are in a state of panic, they're going to buy it. He says, verse 9, because you have made the Lord, which is my refuge, is Moses speaking, even the Most High your habitation. In other words, you're making God your God. Amen. He's your God. He says, there shall no evil come upon you, neither shall any plague come near your home. Can I get an amen, somebody? Look what he's saying here. These are powerful words. These are words that are inspired by God. These are words that you can take to the bank, so to speak, and stand on it, apply it into your life. He says, for He will give His angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. Amen. In other words, the angels of God. And God has millions upon millions of angels. Somebody said, oh, did you know that 1/3 of the angels rebelled against God? And they went with the devil? And somebody said, yeah, but don't you know that 2/3 stay faithful to the Lord? Amen. So God has millions upon millions of angels. And they are assigned to us. This is one thing that we don't even think of. Paul even said, hey, you know, be aware because you may entertain angels unaware. Man, have you ever been somewhere where somebody showed up and helped you and then you turned around and they were gone? God takes care of His people. He really does. Martha had lost her reading glasses for about a month. She had a heart. So we prayed. She said, Pastor, please pray for me. No, she didn't say Pastor. She said, honey, would you pray for me? So we prayed. I said, Lord, I charge your angels to put those glasses in a location where they will be found and they will be returned to Martha. Well, once you know that, I think it was Bob who said that he said, Father, somewhere back here. And so he came and he put him on the pulpit. And Martha's doing some detailing. And what does she see? She sees her glasses. She was all happy. Verse 11, for He shall give His angels charge over you. Verse 12, they shall bear you up in their hands. If you could just picture the hand of an angel, they are upholding you. They're taking care of you. Lest you dash with hurt your foot against a stone. Verse 13, you shall tread upon the lion and the snakes, the young lion and the dragon shall you trample under your feet. Verse 14, God is speaking now. Now He's saying, because you have set your love, see, make it personal, because you have set your love upon me, God is saying, therefore I will deliver you. Amen. I will set you on high because you have known my name. Amen. I think it's in the book of Daniel. It says that those that know God's name or that know Him personally shall do great exploits. Amen. How do you know his name? You spend time with him. Amen. Verse 15 says, he will call upon me. You will call upon me. God says to us this morning, I will answer you. I will be with you in trouble. I will deliver you and honor you. Amen. Wow, what a promise. Amen. And then with long life, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. Amen. What is God telling us in this? Incidentally, this is a very well-known psalm. We have books specifically on Psalms 91. It is a battle psalm. It is a psalm for the soldier, for the warrior, for the man of God, for the woman of God, for the young man, for the young lady. This is your battle psalm. And God is telling us basically that the closer we draw to him, the more protected we are. Amen. Look what he says in Isaiah 43:2. He says, when you pass through the waters, God says, I will be with you. And when you go through the rivers, they will not sweep over you, or the floods. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. Amen. The flame will not set you ablaze. So God is saying that whatever we go through, God is going to be a protector. And I thought about it. I said, Lord, give me some examples. Well, we have the story about Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. Amen. These were young boys. These were not, todos veteranos, not los varones, apestosos, with their muscles all down here, These were young men. They were young. And they were taken captive into the Babylonian Empire. And the king has set up a golden image. And every day, the musicians would sound the trumpets. Everybody had to stop what they were doing and get down on their knees and worship the idol of the king. Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, they said, you know what? The only one I'm going to bow to is our God. Amen. So what they do, everybody hits the deck. Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego are standing like a sore thumb. They stood out because everybody was worshiping the idol. They stood for the Lord their God. Amen. And so what happened? They were arrested. They were cast into a fiery furnace that was turned up 7 times. Even the soldiers who took them into the into the entrance of the fiery furnace, they were killed by the strength of the flame of the fire. Right. So they're in there and they're just walking around. The flame didn't bother them, nothing. And the king said, he asked his guys, he said, didn't we put 3 men in the fire? And he says, yes, king. Yes, king. He said, well, there's a 4th one in there, and the 4th one looks, now this is a pagan. He says the 4th one looks like the Son of God. Hallelujah. Woo! Come on, somebody. How would he know? How would he know that? Amen. God revealed it to him. When he saw him, he didn't look like an ordinary human being. He looked like the Son of God. Amen. Listen, when you and I go to the fire, God will be with you. Amen. It doesn't matter if nobody's standing with you. It doesn't matter if there's nobody around you. It doesn't matter if everybody forsakes you. Jesus said, I will be with you. Amen. I'll be with you. And there are times that we may find ourselves all alone. I'm serious. You're the only one standing. I know Paul found himself that everybody abandoned him. The disciples, they all abandoned him. But he said, nevertheless, he said, the Lord stood with me. Amen. And that's the way I see it. It doesn't matter what happens in this life, church. God will be with you. Amen. What about Joseph? Joseph was a young man. And he got sold. His own brothers sold him. And so but before they did that, they dumped him in a pit. They were going to kill him. One of the brothers repented. Amen. He said, we can't do this to our brother. So they took him out and they sold him. There was a caravan passing by. They took him, and then wherever they went, he ended up getting sold to a rich man. Can you just imagine how he felt? His brothers abandoned him. The Bible says that there is a friend that sticks closer than a brother. Amen. It's like we said, we have brothers and then we have cousins. Amen. And then second cousins. Well, what happened? He gets bought. He gets put in a house where he's a servant now. But in that house, there is the Potiphar's wife. And she fixed her eyes on him. Potiphar was probably, an older guy, and he had maybe one too many French fries. And he had lost all his hair. So now, Potiphar's wife, Mrs. Potiphar, starts to look at him. And he's a young man. Probably very handsome, young. He's got hair no, not Fabio, Jason right there. He had that hair that just flew in the wind, and she's looking at him. And she goes, and she knew he was a Hebrew. She's looking at him, and she says, my. The Lord does provide. So she keeps working on him day after day after day. One day, she gets all the servants out of the house, and she makes a move on him. He's wearing a robe. She grabs the robe, and he pulls himself out of the robe and takes off running. So what does she do? She says, man, I got to protect myself. And so she yells out that he tried to assault her. What happens? He gets arrested. He gets thrown in prison for doing right. It's one thing to go to prison for doing wrong, but it's quite another thing to go to prison for doing the right thing. So what happens in prison? We don't know how long he was there, but he was there for a long time. And then over a period of time, God started to elevate him. And so one day, as he's waiting there and going through all the trials that you go through being in prison, the Bible says, but the Lord was with Joseph. Amen. And at the end of the day, Joseph interprets a dream that helps the king, and he ends up being promoted to the right hand of the king. The presence of the Lord will promote you. The Bible says that promotion doesn't come from the east or the west, but promotion comes from the Lord. Amen. Come on, give him praise. You want somebody to notice you? Do you want everybody at your job to notice you? Say, oh, what a great guy he is. Oh, what an awesome woman she is. Hey, you let the Lord, amen. The Lord will promote you without you even really expecting it. God will move on your behalf. Now, what about Esther? Y'all know who Esther is. Esther was a young maiden, a Jewish girl. And, the Jews had been carried away to Babylon. And so one day, the queen gets fired, and the king is looking for a replacement. So what do? They have a bunch of young girls that are preparing themselves. They have to prepare themselves for a year. I mean, they're going through the ceremonial washing and cleansing. The maidens are preparing them for the day that they will stand before the king. They're getting their hair done, much like they were going to maybe Lisa's salon. And they were getting all decked out with their eyelashes and nice hairdo. I mean, their fingernails getting done, their toenails. I mean, all decked out. They go and they stand before the king. And who does the king choose? A Jewish girl, young girl, by the name of Esther. By the name of Esther. And so one day you have Haman. Haman, who is begins a plot against the people of God. You know, I found out over time that Haman, he was a descendant of King Agag from the Amalekites, that God told Saul to wipe them all out. That wipe everybody out, all their sheep, all their cattle, all their oxen, wipe everything out. And some people say, you know what, that's kind of harsh, a harsh judgment. But what they don't realize is that these people were brutal. They were straight up brutal. They put hooks in the mouths of the Jews when they would capture them, and then they would carry them away with hooks in their mouths. They were a perverted people. They were a people that were given to the spirit of lust, to perversion, and God finally had enough, and he said, wipe them out. So what does Saul do? He doesn't obey God. He partially obeyed God. You know, sometimes we think that, oh, I don't have to 100% obey God. I'll obey him in the stuff that I like, in the stuff that I want, but we don't say it that way. But I'll reject this other side. Well, what happens is that Saul keeps the best for himself. He kept the king Agag. He said, I'm going to use him as a ransom someday. And he kept the best sheep, the best cows, the best of the herds. He kept all that. And then one day, Samuel the prophet shows up. And what does he hear? He hears a bunch of sheep. And he goes up to Saul. And he said, what are these sheep? What's this all about? He said, oh, I obeyed the Lord, but I kept the best. He said, because I wanted to offer it to him, to God, as a sacrifice. You liar. He kept it for himself. That's what he did. But he lied. He lied unto the man of God, who God had given him discernment, and he knew exactly what was going on. And then he confronted him about the king. And Samuel was, he was outraged. So he gets one of the priest's sword. And he says, Saul, I want to show you what you do with the enemy. And he just chops him up to pieces. There was a movie that came out years ago called David. And it opens up with that scene where Samuel is walking into the camp and there's sheep all around and he's looking, what in the world is going on? So he goes into the camp and Saul is there. And King Agag is in there. And so Samuel, he said, I'll show you what you do with the enemy. Takes out a sword and chops it up to pieces. And he says, Saul, because you have disobeyed God, your kingdom is taken away from you. You see, church, partial obedience is disobedience. You can't just say, oh God, I'll obey you in this area, but then rebel in the other areas. No. So because what happened there, Saul allowed some of the people to live. Well, one of the descendants from Agag was a man by the name of Haman. He plotted against the people of God, and he tricked the king into making a 30-day covenant where nobody bows to anybody, nobody prays to anybody except the king. And the king loved it. He was all puffed up. Oh yeah, everybody. If somebody doesn't bow to me, they're going to die. So what happens is God intervenes. Aren't you thankful that God cares about us? So what happens is that he sends her cousin, and he says, Esther, you know, there is a plot to kill us. And you, because she was the king's wife, you need to go into the temple and you need to tell the king, you need to expose the enemy. She said, I can't do that. If I go in there uninvited, they'll kill me. So he said, Esther, if you don't go in there, you're going to get killed anyway. Yeah. You and your people are going to get killed. So he he tells her straight up. He said, Esther, you gotta rise up, because who knows that God may have raised you up for such a time as this.
Amen.
And I believe, church, that the Church of Jesus Christ has been raised up for such a time as this. The world is going crazy. I mean, you know, they're living in a spirit of fear. This is when the church needs to rise up. And we need to walk in the light as He is in the light. Because the Bible says that if we walk in the light as He is in the light, we have fellowship with each other, and the blood of Jesus washes us and cleanses us of all unrighteousness. Amen. Come on, somebody. God will still protect us. So what did Esther do? She said, okay, I'm going to fast for 3 days. Me and my maidens are going to fast. You tell the rest of the people, everybody's going to fast. And so, no, you know what? Everybody fasts. You know what? God's been showing me that when you fast, there's a second part to that we need to implement when we're fasting. Not only do we deprive ourselves of something, but then we have to feast on the Lord. You fast and you feast. You spend that time feasting on the Lord. Just spending time with Him, drawing from Him, getting direction. I like one of the songs that you brought up, that we're not going to move unless He moves. Amen. Because you know what? You know, that was right. When we move without God, it feels strange. It feels like, there was a word I can't remember right now. You feel like abandoned. And I don't know about anybody else, but I don't like that feeling. When you feel, hey, that the Lord is not there. You know, Samson, he messed around. He was always messing around. He didn't want a woman of God. He wanted a woman of the world. So he went and got one, and she jacked him up. Right? She did. But then finally, the Bible says that he didn't even know when the Spirit left him. He didn't even know. You know what, church? I have felt at times that the Spirit had departed. Or maybe, let me put it this way, where He backed off. He's there, but you don't sense His presence. You see, rebellion will do that every time. The Bible says your sin has separated you from your God. Samson found out the hard way. Started messing around with this woman of the world, and he ended up losing his eyes. They give, I think it was the first bald-headed person in the Bible. He lost his hair. They burned his eyes out, and then they tied it to a round stone used to grind wheat. In other words, like a mule. And so there he is, grinding wheat all day long with no eyesight. And one day he came to his senses. He realized that he was wrong. Hey, what is it going to take for us to realize that we're wrong when we're wrong? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, men are prideful. We won't. If I'm looking at you, don't think I'm talking to you. I'm trying to make eye contact with everybody. Men are the worst ones to admit that they're wrong. They are. A man has to admit that he's wrong, even when he's not wrong. You know why? Because you can be so right, you're wrong. You can be so, hard-headed, cabezones. But thank God we have an example in Samson. He came to the place. He came back to his senses. He's pulling that stone, grinding wheat day after day. We're not told how long it was, but it was long enough that his hair started to grow back. How long does that take? It takes a long time, but his hair came back. You see, God had called him to be a Nazarite. A Nazarite, a man of God, dedicated, separated from the world unto the Lord, but he refused. And when the enemy, and to have, he was not to cut his hair, he was to grow a beard, and not cut them. He wasn't to touch anything that was dead. It was, they had a bunch of stuff, but you rebelled against it. I think, you know what, this congregation has been well taught. I'm going to tell you right now, you have been well taught. There is no excuse to say, I didn't know. Oh, yes, you did.